again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And in the white woman's world, the liberal white woman, the superhero white woman's world, it becomes deadlier and deadlier and deadlier. Suicidal empathy, and that's what I'm going to call this stage of feminism for white women, continues to send them to their grave, and they don't care. They have not a fear or a care about it. These women, and we've seen case after case after case, especially the last 6 months, these women will volunteer with these NGOs. In the case of Elisabeth-Jane Ross right here, 38, she worked for One Heart, which was located in Athens. Of course, it gave refuge and supplies to Afghan and Iranian immigrants, all of them men, by the way. They fly all around the world, well, to European countries mostly, and they try to help these illegals, these illegal vermin, invade these European countries. They marry these guys, they have babies with these guys, and then they end up in the same place as this broad right here. They end up stuffed in a fucking suitcase. I have no sympathy. I have sympathy for her family. And you know what? I don't know what her family situation is. This is a woman who's 38 years old. Well, was 38 years old. No family of her own, no children. Doesn't look like she was ever married. You know what, honey? Instead of flying around and going to Greece and helping, Afghans and Iranians, why don't you go home and be a woman and have marry a white man and have white babies? How about that? Stop trying to be Supergirl. It's going to get you killed. And it did get her. Well, in this case, it did get her killed. I mean, she's a nice looking girl. The fuck is she doing single at 38 years old, flying all around, all over the place, trying to be Wonder Woman? Now she's dead. And they have horrific means, too. Ross regularly traveled, according to friends of hers, traveled to Greece to help refugees and homeless people from Iran and Afghanistan mostly. And for her troubles, police arrested a 26-year-old Afghan man after he allegedly used her bank cards and sent messages from her phone telling relatives she wanted to be alone. So this guy was a mental midget. Well, he's Afghani, so they're all inbred retards. Greek police have arrested the 26-year-old suspect for murdering Scottish aid worker Elisabeth-Jane Ross, 38, and hiding her body inside a suitcase in an abandoned building in Athens. The body of Jane Ross was discovered by a homeless man on July 18th in the central Athenian neighborhood of Kypseli, which is, if you've ever been there, it is not part of the tourist attraction. Let's just put it that way. British media have reported that the suspect allegedly tried to conceal her death in the following days by using her phone and sending messages to relatives while posing as Ross. Now, her relatives seem to believe it because nobody went crazy looking for this girl. So she was probably doing this all the time. The messages read, "I need time alone. I want to be alone for a while." This man was arrested on Thursday, nearly 2 weeks after the body was found, after security cameras allegedly captured him using Ross's bank card and ATM at local ATM machines. How did he get her PIN number? Unless she, like an idiot, told him, hoping that he would, not kill her if he revealed that information. Women are retarded. Ross, who lived in Edinburgh, very expensive part of Scotland, so she was an entitled bitch. She probably lived with her parents. Or she probably lived off her parents, because there's no way she was making money as a volunteer for One Heart. They don't pay anything. Reportedly had ties to a Greek organization, One Heart, that assists refugees arriving in the country, particularly those from Iran and Afghanistan. As part of her work, she frequently traveled to the Greek cities of Athens. She arrived on her final visit on June 26th, initially stayed for about 2 weeks with acquaintances, and then she later left for what the local police described was an unknown destination, so no one knew where this girl was. According to the BBC, Ross told those hosting her that she planned to travel on July 15th to Capicelli, where she said that she had American friends. 3 days later, a homeless man found her body inside a suitcase in an abandoned building in that same neighborhood. Reports say that the body had been wrapped in fabric. The man who discovered it told investigators that the suitcase had been there for 2 days earlier, suggesting that it was placed in the building no earlier than the 16th of July. The investigation initially encountered difficulties because there were no fingerprints. Now, the breakthrough came when this retard started using her bank cards. I mean, if this guy had any brains, they would have never found what happened to her, who did this to her. Now, listen, I can't blame the Afghani because he's an animal. He's not an animal, he's vermin. He's the lowest form of living being. This is what they do. You blame the white woman because she was given everything. Guaranteed her family gave her everything. A home, a loving home, school, clothes, money. You name it, she got it from her dad. This is the rebellion against fathers. This is the rebellion against white men. I'm going to go to Greece. I'm going to go to one of these places and work for these NGOs, these non-government organizations. And I'm going to help these Middle Eastern migrants take over Europe. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a difference. The Daily Mail reported that the investigators suspect that the man may have met her through her work with One Heart, and he might have been a refugee or homeless guy. The precise cause of death remains to be unknown. And of course, you're going to hear all the things about how wonderful of a person she was and how great she was, and she was this and she was that. None of that means anything. The reason why many people believe, now this guy has admitted to killing her. He admits to murdering her. He murdered her, he says, because he thought she was attempting to convert his girlfriend to Christianity. One Heart is a Christian NGO. That, for all her troubles, for all the things that she wanted to make a difference in, that's the payback she gets. And this is the vermin. This is the vermin right here that murdered her. What the hell is his name? Afghani boxer has been arrested over the death of Ross. His name is Sharif Ahmadzai, whatever the fuck, age 28. He arrived in Europe by a small boat in 2016, and he later married a U.S. Christian volunteer. So this pig that you see here, who I can guarantee you in the United States of America, she refused to get married or marry any white guy, any normal dude, because it was beneath her. She had a life to live. She had a difference to make. What does she do? She goes to Greece and she marries this thing over here who wants to probably try to kill her. Now, apparently, he killed this woman, Ross, because he was trying to convert his wife or girlfriend to Christianity. So this bitch now is probably Muslim. She has absolutely no rights at all. Now, she's not going to stay in Greece. She's hightailing it back to the United States. She's going to divorce this guy, guaranteed, because women never stick around. She'd be crazy too. So she is the lucky one here, because it could have been her who ended up in the suitcase. It could have been her, and it probably should have been her. But we see this all the time. We're seeing this more and more. And it's always white women, because they're the ones that They think that they can make a difference. They are outside of the natural order of things. They are not meant to make a difference. They are not meant to change things. Women are on this planet to get married and have babies. That's it. And make a nurturing home. That's all. That's all we ask of you. But no, you have to go to Germany, to Greece, to the Middle East, Africa, all these places, and you have to end up stuffed in suitcases. This is what they want. This is what they want. I mean, this is insane. This is a worker hugging. Look at this. Look at this. This is what they want. They feel that they're doing something great when they're strangling and killing their own continent, their own people. This is why women have never been allowed a say in anything throughout history. Let's go back 10,000 years. Women were never allowed any sort of say in society, ever. Ever. And this is why. They're out of their minds when they get a little bit of responsibility. They can't hack it. They can't handle it. And white women, especially white women, because they've been put on pedestals since the dawn of time, they are and will always be the cancer of Western civilization. They can't help themselves. Let's look at this bitch over here, who she couldn't help herself. This girl here, what was the name of this girl here? Oh, Jamie Carney. She was from Westchester, New York. Grew up, guaranteed she grew up in a multi-million-dollar house. Living in Europe, participated in pro-Islam, pro-Palestine protests. She had become another victim of a brutal murder committed by a Muslim invader. She was found bludgeoned, beaten to death by her 13-year-old daughter. Look at that smug pig face on her. Dude, are we supposed to... She was gleeing. She was in ecstasy because she's dating a Arab Muslim man. And guess what? Now she's dead. And the horror of this is that she had a 13-year-old girl. And I want to know where that girl's father was during this whole thing, who allowed this. And the judge, because in especially in New York, you are not allowed. He must have given up custody of this kid in some crazy way, to allow this pig to take that 13-year-old girl, who could have also been a victim of this vermin. She could have been murdered too. And now she is going to have the horror of seeing that her mother, blood all over the room. That will haunt her for the rest of her life. And the reason why it's going to haunt her is because her mother was an irresponsible moron. This is a daily occurrence now. This will never stop. It's, like I said, it's suicidal empathy. You're just begging them to kill you while you help them. And they'll never learn. Here's another example. Look at this pig over here. An Obama appointee judge, Allison Burroughs, she blocked the Trump administration's TPS for Somali asylum seekers, despite the Supreme Court already ruling against it. Some congressman named Andy Ogles is filing letters of impeachment. Nothing will become of it. But again, another white woman who she can't stand the thought of illegal Somalians being escorted out of this country. She cannot take it. She cannot stand it. She has to make a difference because she was never a difference. Nobody noticed her. Look at her. Think anybody noticed her when she walked into a room? No. Trust me, nobody did. This is what happens when you allow white women to have a voice. This is what happens because they are the cancer of Western civilization. Until you get them under control and brought to heel, this will continue. It's a three-pronged attack. It's the guys with the funny little hats that you must control, and you can easily neutralize them. It's money with them. White women, you have to take away their rights, and the other people, I mean, they're cattle. They bow to any sort of force. But you got to be willing to go for it. You got to be willing to do it. We don't know if white Christian heterosexual males are willing to do that yet. We know that white women are dug in the mud. They will continue to risk their lives for a lost cause. It's stupidity. It's stupidity and idiocy. I don't get it. You just hope that's not somebody you know that's as moronic. All right, there's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friend Satan is always busy. He's on full display lately. Be a man and have a backbone because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And always remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you.